Networking isn't all about you, it's about the people that you're trying to make that relationship with. And this whole concept of business tribes is a two-way communication. It isn't giving your point of view, it isn't trying to sell your product or your services, it's actually trying to have that communication between you and the other people in the room or the other people online. Just to tell you a story about myself. When I was at school, I was in Army Cadets. So from Australia back 40 years ago, that was a big thing. If you're age 13 in a school, that you're able to go through a process. All the kids were Army Cadets. We all went around with a little rifle and marched and did all those things. But it was really difficult to be able to become a corporal or a sergeant or other roles if you couldn't give orders. And to be able to give orders, you need that confidence to be able to put that across. And I personally have an extra problem because at the time my stammer was really, really difficult. So for me to try and give an order for a bunch of people to start to march or to give salute and give all these things, it was, you can imagine as a stammer that was really, really difficult. So one of the really great tips which I got from my instructor was actually go outside, find a nice big tree, and to be able to give orders to that tree, because the tree doesn't look at you in a funny way that you really don't know what you're doing. The tree doesn't come across to you as smirking or doing all those sorts of things, and that's really important, is that you being able to talk to people, you have to have that confidence to be able to talk your story, but also to get the story out of them. Networking isn't all about you, it's about the people that you're trying to make that relationship with. And this whole concept of business tribes is a two-way communication. It isn't giving your point of view, it isn't trying to sell your product or your services, it's actually trying to have that communication between you and the other people in the room or the other people online or you and on an individual or on a group basis, to be able to extract from them their challenges and their problems. So when you're talking to them on your solutions, it's actually talking to their problem. Because at the end of the day, again, it's all about them. It isn't about you. Your problems always seem greater for you. Again, going back to that stammer story, you're standing up in front of people and with a stammer you actually can't get the words out and you feel like a dork. You're there and you're trying to get the information out and you just can't do it. So what I did in my late 30s, actually joined an organisation called Junior Chamber of Commerce, or JCs in Australia, or JCI it's called now all around the world. And that gave me an opportunity to do debating. And would you believe that's one of the ways that you can overcome things? Just jump in and swim. For many people of my generation, when you went to go and learn to swim, you got chucked in the deep end of the pool, and if you swam, you're great. If you couldn't swim, they rescued you and chucked you in again. So it was a way to overcome those, they thought, to overcome those fears. So this was a way to be able to do debating, to be able to stand up and express yourself in a way to be able to get your point of view across. 4 years later, after I started doing that, I was able to stand up in front of 4,000 people in Busan in Korea, and to be able to give a campaign speech as a world vice president for JCI. And you can imagine me trying to do that 4 years before, where I just couldn't get words out, couldn't get my point of view across, and couldn't get that information out. So if you are introverted, if you are that person looking to come into that room to be able to feel like you can't get your point of view across, feel like that you can't use this power of networking for your business and your organisation, you just got to overcome those fears and understand that people aren't looking at you and judging you. What they're interested in is your solutions, your information, your story, because they want to interact with that. And if you focus on them, asking them questions, drawing out from them what their problems are, how you can help them, then they become more interested in you again, because you're there to help them. You're there to help their business. You're there to help their organisation. And together, you can both win out of that process. And that's what the core of business tribes is working together, so there's all outcomes. So if you understand that power of business tribes, and you can do that, then you can really turbocharge your business, because the second secret is they've all got friends. their friends also have problems. Their friends also, their tribes, also have challenges. And if you can get that point of view, your information across as a solution provider, because you're interested in the people, then you can really turbocharge your business, not just to those people that you're talking to, but to their friends as well. And that's the power of business tribes.
I hope you really enjoyed this video. And if you want a deeper dive where I share some more information on how you can implement business tribes in your business or organisation, grab the link below at businesstribes.com.